Whoa there, it's your man, Nico B. Says the Black Effect. You already know how we do things, man. Get into it quickly, man. No time to waste. Alright, and I wanna in this video, man, I just wanna talk to the people, man, and ask you like, why are you why are you continuing to be sheep? Why? Why are you continuing to be a sheep? Why? Why are you people continuing to be sheep entering the matrix? Why do you want to continue? Why do you want to enter the matrix again? Meaning, what do I mean by that, Nico B? What you mean? What are you talking about? Why do you still fall for what these politicians tell you, what these doctors tell you, what these so-called big pharma heads tell you, what these so-called scientists are telling you? Why are you not trying to get with the Why are you not trying to do the only thing that you haven't done, and that's talk to the Most High? Talk to Jesus, man. Why have you not talked to your Creator and asked Him what His plans was for your life? You haven't done that. You know, you keep and when you don't have any, this generation of people or a faithless generation of people, sadly, you know, and they need true speakers and modern day prophets speaking to them more than ever, because this is the worst time. Like, children need it. They're not being brought up in, you know what I'm saying, the word, you know, so they are so that's so susceptible to so much mentally, spiritually, because you still have negative and the positive and negative spiritual forces in the world, the demonic and you know, and angelic forces of God. So the demonic forces are working. They're working within people today. You know, they're working with people. Don't you know that God gave Satan dominion here? So, you know what I'm saying, God can get his chosen people. But Satan, you know, the world is a satanic world. You know, you be like, what are you talking about? Everything in it is not wholly of God. You know, I know you may love it. You know what I'm saying? It's dope and all that. You know what I'm saying? I know you like, oh, it's the best thing since sliced bread. But it's not the final frontier. You know what I'm saying? You as your spirit, you know what I'm saying, can do a lot more things than your physical body can do. You know, look at people who study astral projection. I don't advise doing that form of witchcraft or meditation, but look at people who study that, mediums, all of those people. Those people, a lot of them are now I know a lot of them aren't just kooks. You understand? But at the end of the day, this is how we got to do it, man. Get your mind. Stop putting your mind and heart and beliefs into humans, into other human beings. You have the same ability that they have. You know what I'm saying? As a human, you have that ability. Don't try to sell yourself short. You know, some people sell themselves short into digressing to every to every source, besides, like I said, themselves, or besides talking to God. They'll listen to all of this stuff on the meet. I know some people who, when you talk to them, their whole conversation are YouTube talking points. Like, they freshly heard this. You know, I talk to some people who the only information that they know is the information that's on mainstream media. They like a programmed little clock. You know, I remember when I was growing up in the black community and in our household, you know, a lot of my loved ones, you know, took advice from people like Oprah, things like Essence Magazine, things like Dr. Oz. They listened to Dr. Oz like, you know, like he was damn near God. Damn near, man. And that's what a lot of these, I just was watching the news show, and that's what a lot of these so like I said, so-called scientists and pharmaceutical researchers, all these people who working for these companies, you know, all these compromised people, you understand, get on here, and now they basically just taking their power back, you know, that and creating, and turning y'all into sheep again, and y'all just falling for the okey doke. So now you finna just listen to everything they say, hook, line, and sinker. Hadn't you realized that you cannot trust unless the doctor is holistic? I'm not knocking the profession of doctors. There's different types of doctors also. You have surgeons and whatever. I'm not talking about like, your surgeons or brains, people like that. At the end of the day, they're in a different wheelhouse of things. But doctors who just your regular doctors, those who deal with illnesses, and curing those illnesses with drugs. Like this guy who was just on, this wasn't, they not having the news. It was some news podcast they had at the house. It's not even important, his name. Thing is he was saying, that just all of these drugs he's trying to make it seem like these drugs weren't toxic. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, Lord knows, these drugs, man, this is what kills you. Listen to me, or quit being stupid. Would you give your child these? You shouldn't give your child just these vaccines. Listen, they don't work like that. The human body is incredible. If the human body does what it's supposed to do, if it's ran, listen to the last video, if it's ran by the spirit first, mind, and then, what I'm saying, fueled by the body, which is what everything you put in it. You know what I'm saying? So, that's all important. Stress is a killer. Like, so you have to, be in the right mental state. That's caused by being in the right spiritual state. You know what I mean? If your spirit is right and you have joy and everything the Bible promises, you're gonna be in the right mental state. These people aren't mental. Look at everyone who the Book of Saints. These people who've been in the Bible. These were the most competent people. And if you read third party perspective from these people done the most on the earth for other people, most selfless people. Some of the most selfless. I can't gauge all that. I'm just saying if you just gauge competency, these people weren't kooks. So understand that. These are people you need to listen to. You need spiritual leaders at this point. You don't get it? Y'all elected Donald Trump. I knew he was going to win. I knew that y'all was going to, because this is God. God loves irony. God loves showing y'all that, look, this is what you appointed. This is what you wanted. And I gave it to you. Look at how foolish y'all look. Donald Trump is y'all president. Do you know in the Bible? See, but y'all don't read that, huh? We gonna come back to that. We can't, this is the time of the Most High. We got to come back to that, because in the Bible, God warned y'all. He said that, they, of course, his people, once again, us, was begging for a leader. God was like, I'm your leader. I'm your appointed leader. And now, Jesus Christ died on the cross. You can govern yourself at the end of the day, and digress to your, in small pockets, to your spiritual leader, your counselors. They had 12 counselors. Moses was riding with counselors. They weren't necessarily leader, they didn't want to be the leaders. They were just the mediators. And, leadership comes with a burden. So don't try to act like, oh man, you want to be a lead. You want to lead this and lead that and lead that and lead this. Whoever does that takes on a burden. Moses was burdened by the people doing that. See, these leaders now don't give a fuck about y'all. And like I said, they control the sheep. And what they do with y'all, what they will, they kill who they will. They impoverish who they will. They move who they will. If you're not protected by the Most High or in tune in your mind with what they got going on, to be able to be 10 steps ahead of them, or don't even listen to them. See, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, government is here like they're supposed to be here, like I said, to do what those counselors did, mediate the situations and be there for you as your crutch, you know what I'm saying, and your protection. But they don't do that by and large, you know what I'm saying? That's not by, and I mean the individual politicians don't do that. By and large, they are lying. And if you hadn't realized, so I'm gonna end it with this: do not be a sheep. If you have not realized by now, if you hadn't realized by now that politicians lie, that big pharmacy companies lie, that doctors lie, that the news lie. If the doctor isn't holistic, let me go back to the doctors. The doctor isn't holistic. If he's a holistic doctor and he's, like I said, into healing and not just taking drugs, by all means, you can link up with him and he can help you, if you need help. But all of these groups of people are not to be trusted. I don't know if, let me finish this story though, this biblical story when God, like I said, he told the his chosen people, look, that if you don't want me to be your leader, if you don't like the way I set this up, you don't like the way that I have this is humans' whole problem. You don't like the way that I set the harmony of this earth up. You you think you don't like the order that I've set on the earth. You think you could do a better job. He was like, all right, look. He told his prophet, man, he was like, look, just let them go ahead, do what they want. Go ahead, give them a leader, appoint one. Let them pick him, Just go ahead, give the people what they want. And I'm paraphrasing all of this, but this is the giving you the gist of the story. And he was like, but when they do that, what's gonna happen is that man is gonna take their sons, put them all in the walls. Everyone, every time that he gonna create a lot of problems within. They're gonna have a lot of infighting going on, and basically the whole situation, they're never gonna be getting along. Basically the whole situation is gonna be cursed. He's gonna do basically cause a lot of death and things like this because this is man's leadership.